The bridges. There are entire neighborhoods you need to forgive. Streets, guttered, daylighted creeks, morning, and your legs still walking home. The ocean slumps at the end of the phone line. You said you sold this friendship to the pawn shop 3 different times before it finally stayed there. You had the good sense to buy it back. On this city hill, homeowners leave computers in the alleys for students who rove in hungry from the forests, who rise with the heat from basement suites. Are you sure about leaving again this time? You can cut your ties with stories, but not with certain bus stops. Teen steamed glass booth in the long wait of Spinal Tap rain. A waist dawning in a white brick stairwell, salt under your fingernails. The morning's widow's walk around the seawall, gulls chanting your name, the climb to the turret where you grew up. The reefs of bus cables against cloud line, bridges fencing with tide, knit the shores you step between. Friends fall through, chase geographical cures, send you emails from other decades. Remember the rainforest endowed to transplant research. Remember the elementary school that sank into the water table, nothing left but the monkey bars, scrap metal, pushing out of the earth like bones in an elephant graveyard. Remember the one among us who drowned between the bridges. It was dusk, there was no sound that night, the temperate, month-long fog climate-controlled to the drag of your blood. Remember his voice swirling under the rock shelf boundary of knowing. Your first teenage lover waits for weeks before writing you back. If you think you hate Vancouver, you probably just hate yourself. This one's called Clock. In the center of the city, a house built of fish bones and compasses. People visit to hear news from the future. Water pours into a basin in the center of the floor through a gap in the roof. Every few years, the caretaker turns the heat up a few degrees. Visitors buy compasses made of salt and drop them into the ocean. Vancouver is sinking. Thank you for being here. I'll read one more. Throughout this book, there's this figure called the aquarium collector who kind of like roams throughout the book and is sort of this like metaphorical, creepy figure for overdevelopment. This is the aquarium collector number 3. The aquarium collector walks the edges and milk lines of this geography now known as Vancouver. His lantern of consciousness broadening with every step, he walks the lines in blueprint, the grid stained under the earth. He litters starter homes in the pockets of the delta and tosses a couple into the campground. He knows how small a city can be, a line of wet backpacks, a heritage hut by the sugar refinery, a viaduct's wet armpit, the last 200 years in escrow. In the background, the copper replicas of trees shimmer in the cerulean data crawl, the aquarium collector out for his morning walk. Between the aquariums, the city planners have inserted shipping containers ever since they closed down the asylum. Thank you.